Hi, I'm Grace.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Danny, and we're all senior AP research students at Norman High School.
Today we're going to be talking about the IRB approval process.
So basically why we do an IRB is to make sure that our research is ethical and feasible, and to make sure that what we're researching isn't too broad or narrow, or just to make sure that our research is in the right state.
You also want to be sure that the participants involved in your research aren't going to be harmed in any way, both physically or psychologically. Basically, the IRB approval process is just there to keep everyone in check and make sure all of the research procedures are safe.
So now we're going to talk about what is in the IRB approval form, and we're going to go through each section.
So the first thing you want to include in your IRB is your survey questions and your consent form. The people who are going to be reviewing this document want to know what kind of questions you're going to be asking and want to make sure that your participants are informed of what study they'll be participating in.
So in the IRB, there's some stuff that's in it other than the consent form and the survey questions. So in the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to talk about the purpose and the description. So this is basically just talking about what your research is and what it entails. And then after that, you will talk about your number and description of participants or students required. And following that, you'll need to know the time required for each of the participants and your classroom teacher, just in case if you need to pull a student out of class.
And then after that, you're gonna have to talk about what information you need from the school. So if you need student names, you're gonna need to specify that in the form. And then you're gonna need copies of any data gathering instruments. So that includes like we said earlier, your survey and review questions. And then any equipment and materials you need or are going to be used in your research, and any facilities that you're going to need.
In addition to all that stuff, you also have to include who the major investigator is, which is you, and then any consultants you've had. They're listed on the IRB as research assistants. They're not really our research assistants, but you can list your consultants there anyway. You also want to include your starting date and your finishing date. That way, the board kind of has an idea of how long you're going to be collecting data.
Also, in the form, you should specify any preferred days or times that you need for collecting your data, and any special conditions or restrictions that you need. And lastly, you need to say how you're going to use the results, and yeah.
So after you fill out all the things in the form, you'll submit your IRB to the districts, and this is a time where they'll tell you they'll accept your form, or this is a time where they'll tell you to revise it, and you'll just keep revising it and revising it after you're finished, and make sure that it's ethical and feasible.
And don't be scared about the revision process. A lot of times they just want you to fix a few little things, or there may be some typos or slight issues in your survey, but a lot of times they're pretty easy to fix.
And then once you're approved, you can start gathering data and interacting with your participants, of course, working with the starting data you put in the form. And yeah.
And that's how the whole IRB approval process goes.